Well, praise be Jesus Christ. I hope everybody is doing well. I wanted to come in and do a video today about the idea of the divine office being an opportunity to create Christian unity. I was praying the other day, morning office, and I just had this thought come into my mind that the divine office, the daily office, could be a tool that promotes Christian unity. And I was like, wow, I've never thought about that before. And and this, and not only that, it's been such a blessing to me. I started doing the Divine Office, daily office, um, in October of last year, and it's just been a means of grace. It's been very sacramental in my life, and a beautiful, profound connection with Christ as I go through the prayers and the Psalter 30 days and in the daily readings, the lectionary readings, the lessons. And so it's given me a connection to Christ been that has helped me in so many ways. Even it's drawn me closer to Christ, and it help me solidify that unity, or help me to begin to draw closer to be more unified with Christ and the mind of Christ and His will, and that in that situation. But it's been a benefit in so many other ways, just helping me on a personal level, on a level of helping me to be able to work through my anxiety and depression, and work through things that have been troubling me, and drawing me it I don't really know how to describe it, but it's really given me it's been have a calming effect, um, and a more peaceable. I guess that would be a better word. It's instilled and created a more um, peaceful environment in my mind and soul, less anxiety, less worry, less fear, less panic, less depression, less all these things that I have wrestled with, and more acceptance, more peace, more just being okay with the way things are. So from a personal level, it's created a more unifying effect with myself and Christ, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And but it also, you can take that into your family, take that to your spouse, and or to, if you have children, you can incorporate that into your family, where even the simple prayers of the short prayers of family prayers. What a beautiful thing! I've done those before when things are going crazy, and I don't have a lot of time, or I just need to, for whatever reason, just read family prayers, and just short type prayers. And if you wanted to augment some of the morning and evening things, if you have small kids or children, that you could augment some of the morning prayers. I still do that even by myself, where I'm um, augment some of the morning prayers, maybe pray a collect, and then jump into the Psalter prayers, and then the daily readings. And that just gives you an opportunity not only to bring cohesion to your spouse, or with your spouse and with your kids, but it also brings cohesion. Gives you a jumping off point to be able to discuss what you've been reading, and what you're praying, and what the lectionary says, and the daily lessons. Over the course of time, it just instills this washing of the water by the word over you individually, and as well as your spouse, and as well as your children. And I think I honestly, I look back on my life with my family and my kids, and this would have been we came up in a tradition. Came to faith in a tradition, and my wife as well, where the the daily office and lectionary, and those things were not looked on with any favor or had anything to do with it, you know. So I could see how that would benefit families as you're growing up trying to establish it was always so difficult trying to figure out what devotions to do. You wanted to do daily devotions with your family, and you're trying to do that and spend time in prayer and all that, but it was so cumbersome trying to figure it out and trying to wrestle the kids and figure out what you wanted to do because everybody's kind of doing their own thing. But if you had a prayer book you were daily prayers, and you had a Psalter, you have a 30-day Psalter repetition, morning and evening, and then you have a lectionary that tells you what to read and when to read and that kind of thing. It's all, there's no decision fatigue, so to speak, where you have to, "Oh, what are we going to do today? What am I going to talk about today? Or what have I got to study to figure this out? Or how are we going to, it's just there. You just read it. You read it, you pray it, and you let that wash over you. You let that wash over your family, and you just be consistent, 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 and over time it bears fruit, I would believe. And I wish I had that. Looking back, obviously, there's nothing I can do about it now, but I wish I had that. I wish I'd have been a part of a tradition that had that, because that would have been such a blessing to have that consistency in my own family with my own kids. So, and even you can extrapolate that into like friend groups, or a Bible study group, or a home group, or maybe if you're a part of a small home church, or whatever that looks like to you, being able to do that consistently, uh, and just providing that structure of unity as in a friend group. The same is true in a parish. You would hope that, I mean, the assumption is that if you're in an Anglican parish, that not only is your priest and your deacons following those readings and that lectionary cycle and the daily office, but you're hoping that your parishioners are doing the same thing. And so making it, I guess you assume that, but it's probably not good to assume that. And it probably should be it probably should be challenged and should be encouraged and have some kind of structure saying, hey, we're going to do, if people want to learn how to use this, let's learn how to use it, and then actually let's use it. So let's have these 30 days of whatever. So just opportunities to be able to bring the local parish as a body closer together in unity, to be able to have these discussions and just consistent prayer, and having a unified a unified set of prayers and Psalter readings and lessons. And I think that's true if you even go out further to the mystical body. If people were, all over the world doing reading and doing the daily office, it would give you a more global unity in that regard, in learning how to, if people were inclined to do that. There's an app that I have that it's a prayer app. It's a Divine Liturgy or Divine Office prayer app that's it's Catholic, but it has this animation on it of a world, and anytime you're praying with that app, there's a pinpoint of light that goes on the globe, and so you can actually see the count. 3,500 people are actually praying right now, and they each get a little pinpoint of light all over the globe, and you can spin that globe on the app, and you can see that other people around the globe are praying the same prayers you're praying, and praying, and it gives you the sense that a lot of times you just feel alone. I'll be honest. Sometimes you're like, man, am I the only person doing this? Or, like, because maybe others are not doing it, and those around you in your sphere of influence is not, people aren't doing that type of thing. But you look at that globe and you can actually see other people, thousands of people around the globe praying the cycle of prayer in the daily office. And I think that's a beautiful encouragement, I believe. So anyway, I just thought that was a profound thought, and of course, it's all on the individual to be able to do it. And I just think you know, if you're inclined to do it, then you just have to start where you're at, you know, drawing closer to Christ and strengthening that unity with Him, and then also drawing with your spouse, with your family, trying that and being consistent with that, and then just let it and go out further. So anyway, I think the daily office has been such a means of grace for me. It's been very sacramental. It's been a beautiful connection with Christ and with His Word, and just consistently, methodically praying and being in the Word, especially the Psalter, and it's just a beautiful thing. It's very helpful. So anyway, I'll end it with that. Thanks for listening. I hope it's encouraging, and we'll see you on the next one. Praise be Jesus.